What's up? What's up? What's up, y'all? Good evening, good morning, or good afternoon to whatever part of the world you're in. Once again, it's your man in 100 grand, your neighborhood boy, Doc G. And, you know, of course, I had to speak about this. Had to speak about my thoughts on turning 40. I recently just turned 40 last week, or about a week and a half ago. And really got me to thinking about, my perspective on life up until this point. Now, where I'm from, Southwest Atlanta, I wasn't expected to live long enough to make it to this age. Let's keep it real. I wasn't expected to live long enough to make it to the age of 40, so I'm lucky. I will say this. Since I'm pretty much halfway done with my life at this age, I learned a lot of shit, man. And one of the main things I've learned is that a lot of times, most of the times, things don't go as you plan them to go. Things don't go as expected. I put it like this. When you're in high school and when you're a kid, you're expecting the world. You leave your mom and dad's house, you go out into the world, and you're all wide-eyed and bushy-tailed, and you're all super optimistic, and you're naive about the world, you're naive about people and how shit really is. When you turn 40, by the time you're this age, you already know that the majority of people in this world ain't shit. You already know that, man, it's cruel out there, man. This world will eat you alive if you don't carry yourself a certain way. So you fucking develop thick skin, up to this age. You don't fall for a lot of bullshit at this age. You learn how to read people at this age, coming up to this fucking point. You stop believing in a lot of things like the shit that your parents taught you a lot of times because, you know, a lot of the shit your parents teach you is shit that you learn as a kid, like shit that's based on religion and they, and God bless your parents, they teach you as best as they can. But a lot of the shit you learn up until this point, you learn it through trial and error. Also, around this point in life, a lot of people that you know and love start to fucking die, start to die off. I know a lot of people that I grew up with, a lot of people that I knew and loved, slowly but surely starting to pass away. But that's just part of life. That's just part of the beast, man. You know? Also, at this point, I'm starting to understand why really old people just don't give a fuck no more. You ever notice when you look at old people, like at old folks' homes, like 70, 80 years old, that they usually just don't give a fuck. Like they say what the fuck they want to say. They do what the fuck they want to do because they have lived long enough and earned enough tenure on this earth to not fucking care no more. Like once you get to this age, I'll put it like this. At this age, once I hit 40, I'll put it like this. Anything and anyone who hasn't contributed to my peace, I easily let go. Usually, like, when I was younger, I would fucking hold on to some of these people and shit because, yeah, some of these people might be friends. Yeah, some of these people might be family members. And I will hold on to them out of some sense of duty to them. But, man, as soon as I turned 40, man, I was like, you know what? Has this person contributed to my well-being? Has this person contributed to my peace? You know, what toll are they really costing me in my life? You know, and if they cause a lot of chaos in my life, I just let them go. No matter how much it hurts, no matter how long I've known them, I just let them go. Because, you know, like at this fucking age, you start to realize, man, life ain't gonna be forever. You only have a couple of fucking years on this earth, and you got to make that shit count. Hell, and at this age, you really start fucking understanding the importance of health. That's why I work out religiously. Like I run 12 miles a day. I fucking work out like my life depends on it because it does. Because now I start seeing people my age starting to have heart problems. I see people my age starting to have strokes and shit. I'm starting to see people my age motherfucking, you know, get fat and fucking and they starting to look bad. You know what I'm saying? And I ain't going out like that. Fuck that shit. You know what I'm saying? So you really start to know the importance of health. And thank God that I fucking learned that shit early before I ended up like some of these other motherfuckers that I know, having heart attacks and shit. You also learn to stay away from trouble. You learn to stay away from chaos. You learn to stay away from people who are all about that rah-rah shit, man. Now, when I was younger, when I was in my 20s, man, I was about that life. I was about that. I was quick to fight. I'm not saying that I won't fight now, but shit. Let me tell you something. I know the consequences. I know that I could go to prison for certain shit, and I already spent 40 years of my life being outside of prison. I'd be damned if I'm gonna do some stupid shit at this age now and get locked up in prison. Fuck that. You also start learning at this age. You start getting the grind of how to excel financially. You know what you need to spend your money on, what you don't need to spend your money on, how to maintain your credit, how to invest. At this age, you pretty much got that down. You know, and for those who don't understand finances by the age of 40, I don't know what the fuck you doing with your life. I'm just saying. You also learn that relationships and all that shit aren't like you see them on TV or like people fucking think they're gonna be. Because you know you get into a relationship and you already know that you know you can't put all of your expectations on a person. You know good and fucking well that what you see is what you get. You can't expect a whole lot of shit out of people. You can't, I put it like this, once you start holding people to a high standard, that's when you get disappointed. Once you start holding other people to the same standards that you hold yourself to, that's when you start getting disappointed. And that's what I learned as I got older. That's what I fucking learned as I got older. You know, goddamn, stop expecting the best out of people because people are just gonna be them. Stop thinking that just because you love your friends and your family and your wife and your girlfriend and all that shit so much, stop thinking that they're gonna love you the same way that you love them. You gotta start taking shit for face value, man. You know? And you also gotta start enjoying every moment that you have. You have to start enjoying the few people that have stuck by your side, the few people that have been in your corner all these years. You know, when you're younger, you might take them for granted. When you're younger, you might not care as much, man. But when you get older, you really start to see, man, yo, this person, these certain individuals have been in my corner for a long fucking time. You really start to value that shit as you get older. You really start to value those people as you get older. You know, as you can see, I'm starting to grow some gray hairs and shit. No, and but I don't give a fuck about that. You ain't gonna see me using no just for men and shit. I don't give a fuck, and I just know that more gray hairs are gonna come in as I get older. I don't give a fuck as long as I'm able to fucking think with my own brain and move on my own and work out. I could be 100 years old and not give a fuck. Now we both know that age is different in men than in women. Women take aging very hard. Like when women turn 40, it's a lot of them act like it's the end of the world. In a lot of ways, it kind of is because they can't reproduce no more and all of that shit. But with me at the age of 40, man, it's like a sense of clarity, man. Like it's hard to explain, but it's like this overwhelming sense of clarity that I have where I'm just like I'm just like as calm as I've ever been. It's like I know exactly what to do in certain situations. I don't freak out as much as I used to. I don't worry as much as I used to about certain shit because I know that hard times will pass. I've been through hard times. I've weathered a couple of fucking storms, and I already know what that's like. So I don't freak out. I don't freak out about shit as much as I used to. So it's kind of a blessing to me, man, especially as a man, because as a man, when you turn 40, man, it's it's like, yo, man, it's like this is our Super Bowl when we turn 40 as men. When we turn like 35, 40 and up, it's like we know how to stack paper, we know how to carry ourselves, we know how to dress, we know how to how to conduct business, we know how to be mature, we know you know how to fucking avoid conflict with women and all that bullshit. Because now I look at women in a whole different fucking manner. I look at women in a whole different point. I almost feel sorry for these younger chicks right now. Like I damn near feel sorry for them. Like the Cardi B types with the asses out and the long fingernails and the OnlyFans pages and all of that shit. And the way that I look at them now as a 40-year-old man, I think that they're lost. I'm like, yo, man, these chicks need help. I ain't saying I'm gonna be a sugar daddy or nothing. They need mental help and they need guidance. That's how I see them. I see them as children, damn near. You know, I don't fucking do shit like go out to clubs no more and shit. I mean, I might go to a lounge and have a drink. You know what I'm saying? Damn sure have a drink, but I'm not gonna be up in no club wilding out and acting like a fucking fool, partying with people that's half my fucking age. I'm just saying, you know. And I like this. I like my sense of clarity and my sense of peace. And I'm at a unique point in my life at my age because, as a lot of y'all know, I'm a 40-year-old Black American man and I don't have kids. I don't have kids. I don't have a wife. I don't have, none of that shit. But I do have a support system of people that give a fuck about me, which I value. And I really don't see myself having kids at this point because like honestly, I find my life very peaceful. Like I am in a peaceful state right now. Like I love the fact that I get to fucking chill on a Friday night, have a drink, kick back, watch a movie, go out from time to time, do what I want to do. Because at this point, at this age in my life, I have seen so many men get divorced. I have seen so many men, you know, that are in a fucking state of fucking that's in a state of ill repute because they're with a wife or a girlfriend or whatever, and I've watched these fucking marriages and I've watched all that shit start off beautiful. And, years later, now, they're not attracted to each other. Years later, now they're fighting and bickering. And years later, they're in divorce court. I've seen so many marriages from so many people that I've known that have just gone to shit. And this is why I've never proposed to anybody. This is why I've never married anybody. And it is what it is. But that's a whole nother subject, man. Y'all can look through the rest of my videos as far as how I feel about marriage, or marriage in America anyway. But I'm at what you would call a point in my life where that you would call midlife. I'm old enough to be an elder, but still young enough to goddamn to go out and have fun. So I'm like at a good little space in life right now, like right in the middle. A lot of people have hit the wall at this point. A lot of people have given up on working out and molding their bodies and and improving and fucking stacking their money the right way, because a lot of these people have gotten to a routine where they work these slave ass jobs and they don't know, and that's all they've been knowing their entire life. They don't know how to invest. They don't know how to do any of this shit because they have a slave mentality. At this age, as a man at the age of 40, you shouldn't have a slave mentality. At this age, you should be as free as you've ever been. And I kind of feel that way. I have my hardships, of course, sure. But it's hard to explain. I still feel like no matter how hard shit is, like in the back of my mind, I feel like shit is still gonna be all right. It always is, because I know like I said, I know how to deal with a lot of shit in life, and it's, hard times don't last, tough times don't last, but tough people do. That's one thing I learned on this earth, man, going on for as long as I have. But yeah, I'm gonna continue goddamn doing what I've been doing, kicking ass and goddamn keep, fucking stacking paper, working out, fucking traveling the world, and you know what I'm saying? Just doing my goddamn thing, man. And yeah, man, I'll be doing this till I'm 50, 60, 70, however many years I got on this fucking earth. So y'all know what it is, man. I just had to share my perspective on that. Happy belated New Year to everybody, man. Got love for my subscribers and my viewers, man. Just had to fucking state my piece, man. It's your boy Doc out.